5 años, ya había conquistado el mundo conocido y cambió el rumbo de la humanidad para siempre.
I've known many great men in my life.
Alexander is the greatest military legend of all time.
Alexander the Great.
Alexander wanted to live a short life packed with glory. Did he achieve that? Yeah, but at what expense?
Size. The scope. One of those big, epic movies.
A world where myth is alive. A king isn't born, he's made.
It was really one of these films that had to be made.
It's everything I could have ever hoped for.
Never will there be an Alexander like you.
Lift it up. Ready? Action!
But I am Alexander. And no more than Earth has 2 suns. Will Asia bear 2 kings?
The beauty of Alexander is he won. You see, so many great people in history, great people, are more ambivalently dealt with in the sense that their lives are not always completely successful. Alexander is known for the fact that he never had any military defeats.
Conquer your fear! And I promise you, you'll conquer death!
Alexander has been a character to my imagination since I was a child, because we read books about him, and Mary Renault books, among others, and he was such a hero, so romantic and handsome man. A warrior, he led his own troops in battle.
No! Forward! No! Cassandra! Go!
Oliver came to me 3 years ago and said, wouldn't it be nice if the 2 of us would finally work together, because we've known each other for 20 years or so. And I said, yes, Oliver, but I don't want to have lots of false starts. So write a screenplay, come to me and tell me this is the one I'm committed to.
I always dreamed when I was in film school, this is true, I had fantasies that I'm getting cameras into the actual Alexander campaign. Seriously, can you imagine the modern filmmakers walking around and shooting this campaign? And actually getting the way people looked and felt and talked. I wrote a script in '87. I wrote another one in 2002. I really wrote as hard as I've ever written.
And then he talked about it in such a passion and sucked you into his passion that by the time you had read it and by the time you had talked to him a lot about it, there was no way not to make it.
Zeus be with us!
The greatest of these is the one they now call Megas Alexandros.
You have a man who supposedly was extraordinarily conscious for his time. He could be extraordinarily gentle and extraordinarily ferocious. So you had all the makings of a fiery hero.
He's a man who conquered most of the known world. I'm sure most people know by the time he was 32. Died that same year, just short of his 33rd birthday. And all his life searched for answers. Ran away from a lot, ran towards a lot. Destiny being the biggest thing he was running towards all his life.
We took the more unknown, vulnerable parts of Alexander, I believe there were many. I think that he had many shadow areas, and we touched on those. So we tried to give the movie a blend of light and dark.
Oh, we all suffer. Your father, mine. They all came to the end of their time, and in the end, when it's over, all that matters is what you've done. He was, the son of Philip of Macedon, who was the king of Macedon. And his parents both hated each other. They may have still loved each other a bit, but hated each other and tore each other apart before his very eyes when he was a kid, and used him against each other a lot.
There's this core dilemma that is this Alexander's curse, is that he's born into these two great, powerful personalities that are pretty used to winning.
Must you think everything I do and say comes from my mother?
Because I know her heart, Hera. And I see her in your eyes. You covet this throne too much.
People were being murdered left and right and killed, and positions were being taken, and things had to be... It's a different way of living. It's a harder way of living. So she was a hard woman, and she was a frightening woman, and she did murder people or have them killed, and she did push him to be very powerful.
The world is yours. Take it.
He only understands himself through mythology and that sense of becoming that I think Oliver Stone shares with the character a lot.
That as the years decline and the memories stale and all your great victories fade, it will always be remembered. You left your king in Asia.
He's really the perfect director for this story. He's just got a restless soul.
The man is Dionysus. So we are all here following the god of chaos.
Let it happen like that, Michael. No fixes are necessary right now. I like the look.
It's just an honor to be on the set with Stoner every day, because he has such an immense passion for it.
Alexander's unblocked, and we're seeing him through your cane. That's beautiful.
He's been living with wanting to do this movie for 12 years.
He's creating an atmosphere at the set that makes everybody root for the movie, and they all work together.
He understands these people and the relationship between mothers and sons.
I know that you've come all the way this way, and then you're going back to Philip.
Okay.
He's like Van Gogh or Beethoven, he's just this bundle of crazy creative energy.
Oliver doesn't like people being comfortable on set. He likes to shake you up a bit.
Anthony worked on the last day. He worked till probably 3 or 4 in the morning.
We were on our feet for 18 hours.
Killed everybody, and he loved it.
I felt fantastic. I felt exhausted, but I thought, I can do it. He fought to free himself from fear. And by this, and this alone, he was made free. The freest man I've ever known. Of course, Oliver would say things like, you're kind of getting past it now, aren't you? I mean, you're beginning to lose it, aren't you? I said, go out and get lost, Oliver. I've lived long life, Cadmus, but the glory and the memory of man will always belong to the ones who followed their great visions.
Cut! Cut that! Let's get him back here for a close-up. Turn around. Good. Against the setting sun.
I call Father Zeus to witness. I call you to trial before him, and we'll see how deep this conspiracy cuts. Take him!
Colin did seem to become Alexander. I felt very comfortable with him from the get-go. I just felt, from the screen test, I felt like he's got it.
Today we ride to our destiny.
First of all, on the physical level stunts, he did everything pretty much himself. He's got the right raucous Irish, a little bit rough, like the Macedonian.
You can run to the ends of earth, you coward! But you never run far enough!
But he's poetic in his speech patterns.
This day, at Gaugamela, for the freedom and glory!
I never in my life ever read anything like it, as heartbreaking and as dark and as light and as doomed and as full of potential. And that through our union, Greek and barbarian may be reconciled in peace.
Colin's playing younger than he is at many stages. With his mother, he's playing 19. So he's playing younger and I'm playing older at the same time, so somehow we're meeting in the middle.
One day, you will understand this. But I have only you in my heart.
No, Angelina is crucial to the movie. She's an anchor. She reminds me of my mother, in a way, when I was a young boy, and perhaps that's what inspired me to cast her as a mother.
Yes. And you would be 40. Old and wise. You have to love every character you play, I believe, and understand them, or at least support their flaws, and you can't think they're crazy and they're wrong, or else you can't play them with conviction.
Understand how Philip thinks. For your own sake. Your life hangs in the balance.
Her strength is what drives the picture and may very well motivate Alexander.
The Wilson there comes free, you fool. Too nervous for battle. You'll sell him for meat.
Colin is Alexander to me, and Val is Philip, and they just are. Either they're perfectly cast, or there's something not safe about the choices made for these characters by Oliver.
But if you ever insult me again, I'll kill you.
Sorry.
Extraordinary setting of Jan Rolfs, a Dutch production designer who has a fabulous eye for making it look idyllically Greek.
Our production designer, Jan Rolfs, was all over the place, but he was a bull. He was a bull. He stayed in there for 2 years before the movie was made, just hung in there to get it made with me.
Everything was manufactured, from every cup to every plate to every bed to every piece of furniture, everything. So it was an enormous undertaking. And we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people manufacturing every day for like 9-10 months. In the amphitheater where everybody is in this white and black, and then there's the red costume of Angelina's and Olympia's coming down, brilliant.
Alexander's spirit, whatever form it took on the set, was there, and it lifted people. It made them better than they were.
We must reach Kratos before it's too late!
And I think it made, frankly, the project possible. I think we overcame vast odds to get it made.
This is definitely like one of those life work kind of films.
Biographies are notoriously hard to do. Oliver's probably the best at it and the most famous for it.
It was the most satisfying time I've had in a long time.
Being allowed to be on this journey together with Oliver and having the good fortune to get it actually done is huge satisfaction.
His mother in the movie says, when your companions are shadows in the underworld, you will be remembered forever by generations of the young.
Come, Macedonians! Ride! Ride!
Forever Alexander. Alexander the Great.
It will always be remembered! Always be remembered!
Nunca habrá otro Alejandro como tú. Alejandro Magno.
¡Venced vuestro miedo! ¡Y os prometo que venceréis la muerte!
Los dioses suelen castigar semejante orgullo.
Ningún ser humano puede ser tan poderoso y hermoso sin que le sobrevenga un desastre. Alejandro, él jamás conoció la guerra ni la disfrutó como tú. ¿Cómo osas? Alejandro, sé razonable.
Tu nombre perdurará por siempre.
¡El rey vive!
La primera regla de la guerra es hacer uno lo que les pide a sus hombres que hagan.
¡Ni el más vil de mis enemigos me ha hablado como me hablas tú!
¡En mi vientre llevé a mi vengador!
¡La veo en tus ojos! ¡Obedece por una vez!
Hay que ser fuerte para gobernar.
Todo cuanto desees, el mundo es tuyo.
¡Siempre se recordará! ¡Siempre se recordará!
Al final, solo importa lo que has logrado.